Hi guys, so I just posted my relapse video, and I just want to tell you what happened after that. I contacted my nurse the next day, and usually she's on top of it. I don't think less of her, but I don't know what's going on over there. I contacted her, and let me see if I can remember what happened. It's been like a week, and so I'm already forgetting things. Okay, last week was Halloween. Week before, it was a Wednesday. I hadn't heard back from her about my SOLU MEDROL because I contacted her the previous week, like the week, like on Monday. It was Monday. I think it was Monday, not last week before. Anyways, I contacted her. I'm like, hey, I need SOLU MEDROL. I'm going to relapse. What's the status of my Ocrevix from my insurance? And she says that I was actually denied. And the reason why is because they didn't mention that I had lost the use of my legs. I was back on my cane for like 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. I don't know. I can't remember the time frame anymore. It's all like one big blur. The last like 2-3 weeks have been just absolute like hell in a handbasket. So if you have MS or something else and you're going through it, like, my best advice for you is be proactive. If I hadn't been taught how to be proactive by my mother, I don't know where I would be at all right now, like, for real. So anyways, I don't remember all the days anymore. So she told me that they declined it, and I was like in tears. And I called, so I'm like, I'm just gonna call the insurance company and see what's going on. They must, like, my nurse must have missed putting something important in my records, the appeal, not the appeal, but the paperwork for me to be on Ocrevix. She's like, this is the first time an insurance has ever declined Ocrevix for anybody before. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I called and I spoke with this woman. Her name is Trista, and she was an absolute angel. Me and her talked for like an hour and a half. I went over everything, and she was telling me about her brother who has MS too, and he's like in his 50s and all of his crap he's been through. So she was really sympathetic. Did he have multiple? No, he had ankylosing spondylitis, which I have that also. So anyways, we were talking about stuff, and she was absolutely wonderful, like an absolute doll. Anyways, so she's like, there's no reason for them to decline you. So she called the actual the guy who declined my thing, and he said what they missed a couple important things. First off, they made it sound like it was more of a convenience that I was switching from Tysabri to Ocrevix. So I mentioned before, I've been on Tysabri. Well, I've been on Tysabri since I was diagnosed over 2 years ago, like 2 years and like 3 months ago. And anyways, that's just stupid specific things. Anyways, so over 2 years ago, and it had been working until like the last 8 months, and I noticed that my mobility has been declining, my brain's been declining more than usual, my stumbling, just everything. Like, all my symptoms were slowly coming back, and the Tysabri wasn't lasting as long as it usually would. And then I went through hell. I went and saw sorry, there's lots of swearing in this video. I went and saw my family doctor, who's wonderful, last spring, like I think May. And the nurse forgot to take, she took my blood. She forgot to test for the JC virus test. And I kind of explained it, but if you don't know what that is, it's a brain infection that anyone can get. It's not like a contagious thing. It's not like you're a gross person thing. It's just one of those rando things. And if you don't have MS, you'll never know you have it. It's never going to affect you. The only time it's going to affect you is if you're on Tysabri. That's it. So you can be on all the other medications or other infusions, and the JC virus won't affect you, which is awesome. But if you're on Tysabri, not so much, and it can actually kill you within months. So they test you every 6 months, and she forgot to submit the paperwork. Well, she called me like 2 weeks after the appointment to verify, just to let me know all my test results, because I live 2 hours away from my doctor. And so they just follow up with me and let me know. I'm like, cool, how's my JC virus test? Because I need to get that renewed because I'm running out of time for my Tysabri. I had like 1 more infusion left. And she's like, oh, what are you talking about? And she said she forgot, and so she didn't do it. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So I'm thinking I had to go up there. She's like, I'll just send the test down to where you're at. And I have a hospital down here, and so she sent it over, and I did procrastinate on getting it done, so that was my fault. God, it was her fault in the first place, but whatever. And I went to the hospital and to get my blood drawn, and the nurse, the lab tech there, claimed to have no idea what the JC virus test is. I know there's a lot of people down there have multiple sclerosis, and I know quite a few of them are on Tysabri. So I know for a fact that hospital, and it's a freaking hospital. How does a hospital not have the JC virus test stuff? Like, that's impossible. And all they have to do is they take the blood and send it to the company that runs it. They don't even have to run the test. Like, no. That's over. Anyways, they don't even have to like run the test. Like, they just get the blood and send it in to where they need to send it in. So sorry, I just had my lost train of thought. Hold on. So she was an idiot, and she was really rude too, like extremely rude. And then that's right. When I went in there, she was asking if about a year now, you're a UA test. I'm like, this is a blood test? It's like, oh, I didn't know that. Look at the records. Anyway, so I gave her the paperwork for whatever. And then she's like, well, we don't do that here. Like, yes, you do. You guys are a hospital. How do you not do that here? And I really didn't have attitude with her. I was just more confused. I'm like, you guys are a hospital. How do you not do that here? We just don't do this kind of test here. It's a really specific kind of test, which it is a specific kind of test, but it's still done at hospitals. Like, I know this is a small town, but quit acting so freaking backwoods. Not the whole hospital, just her and the billing department. Anyways, so then I called my nurse. I'm like, and I was panicking. I was like, what do I do? Because I called the phone number on the paperwork, and that was a whole confunkel, like where it was just like not even happening. I couldn't get a hold of anybody. And so I called my nurse, panicking. She's like, okay, let me get on this and I'll figure out what to do. So she called around, and the next day she got a hold of Dr. I don't remember his name. Anyway, we're going to call him Dr. Joe. And apparently he had some kind of JC virus test kit. And I'm like, okay, that works. So she's like, so go in tomorrow, and she'll go in later today and get the blood drawn. I'm like, okay. But so I called the nurse just to prep them to make sure they knew what was going to happen when I get there, so I didn't waste time. And I called, and they had no idea what I was talking about. And Erica, my nurse, she said she talked directly to the doctor, but the doctor wasn't there, and it was just a whole huge mess. And so I waited till Monday when he was going to be in the office, and then anyways, they screwed that up. And so like Wednesday, they finally got everything figured out. Okay, come get the blood, come have your blood drawn, and then we'll run the test. Okay, fine. Go in, and they draw the blood, and I didn't hear back from them. And it takes about a week-ish to get results back. Mind you, now I'm now 2 weeks behind on my Tysabri. So then I didn't hear back after 2 weeks, and I called, and they had lost my blood. Okay. So they said they had it figured out. Again, drew my blood, lost it the third time. I'm now 3 weeks behind on my Tysabri. Almost a month behind. So then my neck hurts really bad today. And then, well, lasts like forever. Crap, I can't remember anymore. Anyways, they kept losing my blood, and they kept claiming they don't know what's happening, they don't know what's going on, and all kinds of bullcrap. I don't remember all the specifics anymore. I used to know, but they're all erased. Anyways, so I went somewhere and had my blood drawn. I went up and saw my neurologist, and they drew the blood there and got the blood results back within a couple of days, and I got my Tysabri. And then that happened again. No, was that happening again? Anyways, and then like the next month. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that part. Okay, so also they took, when I had my Tysabri infusion, so I was telling my nurse, I'm like, I don't want Tysabri anymore. I'm done with this. I'm over it. It's not working anymore, and this JC virus crap is not even worth it, especially where like everyone's failing on me at the hospital, and then everyone's failing on me. Like, I just don't want to deal with it anymore. So I'm like, let's just switch to the Ocrevix, which is a 6-month infusion. Like, you get 1 infusion every 6 months. Well, the first infusion, you get 1 infusion first week, and then the next week you get, so 2 weeks in a row you get an infusion, and then it goes to every 6 months. Like, let's just do that. Well, in order to do that, you have to have a hepatitis panel run. Well, I don't have hepatitis, I knew that, but they have to do it anyways. So when I was getting my infusion, I had them draw blood, and the nurses submitted my blood. And well, my infusion nurses, who were awesome, submitted my blood to the lab, and guess what? The lab lost my blood, because the following month I went up to see my neurologist to get everything signed up so I could do the Ocrevix, and guess what? They didn't have a freaking hep panel. They lost my blood again. You are a hospital. Like, this is your job. Keep track of people's stuff. So I was pissed, obviously, because now it's like, great, I'm going to be set back that much further. And then I started feeling my relapse coming, and that's why, and I just kept, and like, you can't push it off, but like, I have this really strong will to be stubborn, and I just kept pushing, just keep going through, just keep pushing through. And like, I was taking prednisone, which is a steroid, and I love prednisone. Prednisone's like my holy grail of pills, because it helps with my pain. But the only problem is it makes you gain weight, makes your face super round, makes you sick, and it's steroid, so it's not good for long-term use. So you can only use it like occasionally. And plus, like, it wipes out your immune system, and my immune system's like completely sloshed anyways because of all the different meds I'm on. Anyways, so I went up with my friend up north, which I explained in the video, and it was just a really long day. It was really hard on my body and my brain, and it was fun to go up with her though, because she's awesome, and I don't regret it at all, because she's amazing. And then my relapse hit, and so I called my nurse. I'm like, okay, I need SOLU MEDROL. And she's like, okay. And then she forgot. And then that Friday, so I followed up with her. That was like, I called her like on Tuesday. I followed up with her on Wednesday and Thursday, and she hadn't heard back. And then she told me that my back to the Ocrevix being declined. So and at this point I was on with a cane and with my cane, and I couldn't walk. My brain was like dead, and like I was really struggling. So my brain's still struggling because I'm still not on Ocrevix. Just for the record, there's a point to this. Anyways, so crap. She dropped the ball and forgot, and she didn't submit the paperwork incorrectly with all the information, so I had to correct it. So I was talking between her and the insurance company trying to get everything figured out while my brain's fried. And then, like, fun fact, while I was talking to my husband about the whole thing, I was sitting on my bed looking at my backyard, and like a whole bunch of sheep. It was like a sheep run. Like, I live in a small town, okay, and like a whole bunch of sheep like ran into my mom's yard and my yard. My mom are neighbors, so it's next to each other, and it was so cute because they all got stuck. It was adorable. Anyways, people came and helped them get back to the herd. That was like a good part of the day. That like made my day. Anyways, so my nurse was like, okay, I'll get your SOLU MEDROL down there and we'll get going with that. I'm like, okay, cool. So I figured Thursday I was supposed to have it come in, and it didn't come in. I'm like, okay, it's definitely going to be here Friday. And I called her and I didn't hear back from her Friday. And I'm like, what the hell? And then Monday, the infusion center, and I told them I can't drive. My mom works. I'm not going to have her take off work every single time the hospital and nurses screw up, because then she'll never go to work, and that's not worth it. And I'm like, I need someone to come, and I can't drive at all, especially after the SOLU MEDROL, because it just kills me. Like, it just fries me. And so I called her. So anyways, I was going to call her Monday, but then the hospital called me, the infusion center, and they know me very well. And she's like, hey, we have your SOLU MEDROL here. I'm like, why? Like, it's supposed to be home health. Sorry. It's supposed to be home health that comes and do it. I'm not going to the hospital. I can't drive. She's like, oh, okay, I didn't know this. I'll get home health over to you. I'm like, okay, great. So home health calls me the next day, and I think it was the next day or that day. I don't remember. Anyways, home health calls me at some point in time. Yeah, it was Monday. Or was it Tuesday? It was a day last week. They called me. Hey, do you have your meds? No, because they usually bring it to you. They ship it or have someone deliver the box of stuff. And no, I don't have anything. Well, do you have a line in? No, I have nothing. Do you know what's going on? No, I have no idea. No one tells me anything. Everyone's dropping the ball. I know what's happening. Okay, we'll get this figured out. Then three separate people called me from home health. Finally got someone on the same page as me. And this, mind you, my meds were at the hospital. The nurse could have gone to the hospital and picked up the meds and come that night. I don't know why people don't think of these things. I mentioned it, and my brain's fried, and I literally have holes in my brain. That makes me really concerned. Like, really concerned. Anyways, so I'm really dehydrated right now. Hold on. So the next day, no medication. Wednesday gets here. Oh no, that's right. It did come Tuesday. Yeah, it did come. They did 1-day shipping. That's right. It came Tuesday, later on in the day. And now here's the thing. That Halloween's last week. Halloween's my favorite holiday of the entire year. That's why I was trying to get the SOLU MEDROL in the week before, so be functioning, happy, and healthy, and playing with my nephews, and doing Halloween stuff, and not have to deal with this on Halloween. So when I talked to the nurse on Tuesday before she came over, I'm like, I'm a hard poke. My veins are screwed up because this will be my 4th SOLU MEDROL infusion, and if you don't know what SOLU MEDROL is, it's an anti-inflammatory steroid, and it's super strong, and it's awful, and it makes your mouth taste like you're sucking on pine sol metal lozenges, and you feel weak and dizzy and sick, and it's just the worst thing in the world for me. Some people love it. I hate it. and it totally screws up your veins, like really, really bad. So I told him I'm a hard poke. On average at the hospital, it takes 6 to 8 pokes to get a line in me. And so come prepared. Bring like 15 needles. And she did. She brought an experienced nurse who was awesome. She got it on I have a prime vein right here. This is my prime vein. I only do my hands. I can't do up here. I get sick and throw up. I can't do it. Hands. So like in wrists and everything. I can do it from like here up. And that's it. If you can't get it, then just knock me out and do whatever you want with me. Anyway, so the nurse, she got it. It was really great. Okay, cool. Well, I had like 5 minutes left of this SOLU MEDROL and my vein blew. Like, crap, that's my prime vein. That vein blew. I'm like, okay, whatever. I took it out and I flushed it and took everything out. Well then, and mind you, I have medical experience, so I know how to do stuff. Anyways, so then the next day, Halloween, I had my Halloween makeup on, and I had my purple wig on, and I had my pretty Halloween witchy dress on, and my nurse, she was late because she was practicing on a nurse before she came over to poke me. And I reminded her, remember, bring a lot of needles. What does she do? She brings 4 needles. First off, she's late, okay? And I was expecting my nephews to get here, and I knew trick-or-treaters are coming because they come at like, 1 o'clock, like, they started trick-or-treating at like 4:30. Anyway, so she was late, pissed me off because it takes like 2 hours, 2.5 hours for it to completely flow in, to go in everything. Anyway, so first off, she was late. She brought 4 needles she never used before. And so she poked me 4 times. And she's like, I'll go get more needles and come back. I'm like, I told you to bring 15 needles. Well, I didn't think I need them all. I told you, I know my veins. I know my veins. When you've had as many health issues as I have, like, you know what works and what doesn't work. And understand me, I respect nurses. I do. As a whole. That one, I don't respect. I don't. And I'm sorry if you see this lady, get over it. Go practice more. Anyway, so she's like, and this is Halloween. She's like, I'll come over. I'll go get more needles and come back. I'm like, no, my nephews are coming over. I don't want to have a line in on my hand when my nephew's over here playing and crying all over me. I'm like, no, just come back tomorrow. I'll take some prednisone to put it off till tomorrow. She's like, okay, fine. So I had to miss a day of it. And then once again, she only brought... Did we get a line? Hold on, I'm trying to think. I think we did get a line, but it took a while. I don't remember how many pokes. It took quite a few pokes, though. We did get a line, but she put it like in the worst vein. And oh no, that's right. That's what happened. Okay. So I told her as she was leaving, remember to bring 15 freaking needles. Ones that you're familiar with, ones that you're comfortable with. Okay. Okay. Well, so the next day she comes with 2 other nurses. There's 3 nurses to come and poke me, you guys. Like, that was ridiculous. This one nurse, Dee didn't even do it. The one nurse, I shouldn't say her name. Anyways, the one original nurse, she didn't do anything, which was good because I don't think I would have allowed her to because she was an idiot. The one lady, she was doing it, but she didn't know how to use that line, the infusion line at all. And the student, the 3rd nurse, was explaining to her how to use it. I know how to use it. So it's not comfortable. It took 2 pokes, but each poke was 10 minutes of fishing. I have a really high pain tolerance, and at that point I'm like, whatever, just get it in. As I was imagining them burning and in hell as they were doing this, the incompetency was just phenomenal. Anyways, so I told her I'm like, leave some extra needles. If this bursts, I'll call someone to come do it. I don't want to deal with you guys anymore. If it holds, I'll DC myself tomorrow. Which means, like, clear it out. Like, you pull, like, you flush it with saline and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so, luckily my line held and through the night, because I babied the crap out of it. And I was able to do everything myself. So, my goal is, I have extra needles. I'm going to learn how to, I know I can do it, get my own line, give myself my own lines. So they could just send me the medication and I can just do it myself. Because this is ridiculous. Like, I shouldn't have to be tormented. And the thing is, this is not the first time. This isn't just IHC home health. This is, like, I've had so many home healths that have screwed up so bad. My first infusion, on the 4th or 5th day, I had to have my mother-in-law, who's amazing, and she's a nurse. I had to have her come over and put the line in because no one else could do it. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is your job. This is literally your job. If you can't be competent enough to go into someone's home and make them feel comfortable and safe, you should probably either go back to the hospital so you can have constant supervision or find a different freaking different profession. Anyway, so it's now Wednesday morning, 4:48 in the morning, and I'll be and I haven't heard back from my nurse about my Ocrevix because I don't think I finished explaining that. Oh, I didn't. So what she Okay, so when I talked to Trista with my insurance company, they forgot to put in, like, the seriousness behind my relapse at the moment, and then they didn't put down the type of MS I had. I didn't really know the type of MS I had. I didn't really think anything of it. I figured I had progressive, but apparently they don't put progressive down because it's, like, the worst of the worst, and a lot of insurances or certain infusions won't, infusions won't accept you if you have that kind, which is stupid. It's like, oh, you have the worst kind, so we're not going to treat you, essentially. But Ocrevix, they treat you if you have progressive. And so they just, progressive as a secondary. But here's the problem, though. If Ocrevix is the best in the market right now, it was Tysabri, now it's Ocrevix. If Ocrevix doesn't work for me, I'm screwed. So that's fun to think about. Anyways. So, the moral of the story. Be proactive. So, in the morning, after I wake up, I'm going to call my insurance before I even call my nurse. Call my insurance and see what is up. And then I'm going to call my nurse and chew her out and be like, why are you not handling things? Like, and I try to be so nice and respectful because I know they have a stressful job and I know I'm not the only patient that's having a hard time. I'm completely aware of that. But don't tell me you're going to do something if you're not going to do it. Just don't do it. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it's very possible I'm completely missing something. I have no idea. But like I always say, it is what it is. I'm just really concerned though because even though I had my SOLU MEDROL, my fuzzy head is back and it's my legs haven't gone out since last week, which is good, but my head's definitely going out. I definitely can feel that I'm still in the relapse and it sucks. And I need to go to Salina to the butcher to get meat for my dogs, but it's like a 30-minute drive and I can't drive that far right now and it's really frustrating. I have to go there this week. So now I have to swallow my pride and ask somebody for help, which I hate doing. Anyways. Okay. Now that's out. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a better week than me. And that's only like part of the week too. Last week was just awful. That's just MS related stuff. So, anyways. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.